Today we're looking at a gaming mouse, and I know that's not something we look at a lot on here, but the company reached out to me and I was really intrigued. This is the Gravastar Mercury M1 Pro. In the box, you get the Mercury M1 Pro mouse, you get a 1K wireless dongle, a braided USB-C to USB-A cord, documentation, a USB-A to USB-C adapter, and in this little bag here, you actually have anti-slip stickers and additional foot pads. So looking at the mouse itself, it's really sturdy. It's made of a magnesium alloy. The core of the M1 Pro is actually RGB. It breathes beautifully between the colors. And the thing that I really like about Gravastar's designs is they're designed to be like something within a video game. So it's not just a gaming mouse, it's part of the game. This is meant to be more of an exoskeleton, unlike some of the other gaming companies who remove a lot of the mouse just to make it lighter. And that's something worth noting because this is an 88-gram mouse, and there are definitely lighter ones out there if that's what you're looking for, but still not an overall heavy mouse if you're a gamer. And it's next level comfortable because it breathes so well because there's air getting to your hands everywhere. You can see I've actually put those non-slip stickers onto the mouse keys, and they're really, really helpful. And the texture of the mouse wheel gives you a lot of control. So in terms of controls on the mouse, you have your left and right key, you have the clickable scroll wheel, there's a button underneath that, and then you have the two side buttons for your thumb. Everything is programmable. You can even create macros and stuff like that using Gravastar's app. So let's have a look at that. So in here, you can configure what a lot of the keys do. So just clicking on the right key here, you can see that you can select from a number of different things. You can even have media keys to control. You can control some of the macros that you're going to set up in a second if you want to. And you can do that for every button except the left key. It's the only one you can't change. Over on the side, you have a debounce time. That's actually the time that it takes a switch to register a key click. So you can set it to anything you want from 0 milliseconds all the way up to 20 milliseconds. And I don't have a lot of experience with this, but I'm told if you go too low, like 4 or lower, there's a lot of chance that you register more accidental double clicks and things like that. So you wanted it a little bit higher, but not too high so it takes too long to actually register the clicks. We go to the next thing in here, so you can actually set your DPI from here. So you can change your DPI stages so you have more or less of them, but then you can change what the value of each individual one is. What's cool is you can actually change through them just by clicking on that middle button. That's what it's defaulted to do. So if you're mid-game and you realize your mouse isn't as responsive as you want it to be, or it's too responsive, you can switch around and you color code them. So as you switch through them, the color on the Gravastar changes and flashes in that color, so you know which one you're selecting. And you got your report rate here, and that ranges between 125 Hertz and 1000 Hertz. And then you have sensor settings down below. Then you've got your macros, so you can set up a new macro. You click on new macro and then you can name it. And then when you start recording, it will record all of your key presses, and then you stop and you can set other settings here, save your macro, and then when you click the button that you assign to that macro, it'll perform it. Next up, you've got your lighting modes. So if you open up, you can actually turn it off, and then there's a rainbow moving, single color breathing, rainbow fixed, neon, and rainbow flicker. You can change the brightness and the speed of the animation, and then choose what happens with the lights. So if you think it's going to be a distraction when you're moving the mouse around to have those lights going off, you can have them turn off when they do that. You can also set a time that'll turn the lights off whenever you're not using it for a certain amount of time. And then here you got some basic information. You set your language, you set your firmware. If there's an update, this is where you're going to do it. There's a pairing tool. So if you haven't paired this via Bluetooth, which we're going to get into the options in a minute, then you can do so here. And then just some other Windows-based controls. So as I said, this does pair up to your computer via Bluetooth, but it'll also connect wirelessly via that 1K dongle that comes with it, or you can hook it up via the USB and have a wired mouse. But I can say a lot about the mouse. We should really see it in action though. So let's get a game going and see how it performs. Okay, so we're up and running with a game of Fortnite. So you can see if I move the mouse around right now, I've got a pretty slow DPI. Now if I click it, speeds up a bit more. I click it, it speeds up super rapidly. So gotta be a little careful of that. Like I can't even see when it moves around, so that's gonna be too reactive for me. There we go, that seems pretty good. So it's nice and responsive. I'm just using my fingers right now on the mouse keys and it moves around nicely. Again, that's thanks to the non-slip stickers that are on it. The side buttons don't jut out an awful lot, so they just feel like a natural part of the mouse. So you got to get a little used to that, but it's not a bad thing by any means. Always thank the bus driver when you're reviewing a mouse. Okay, so we're jumping out and you can see plenty of control. And again, I'm going to change the DPI again. It gets a little crazy. You even get a little screen tearing. I go so fast at that point. There we go. Back to normal. And it's not particularly important, but I am RoboCop as a Ghostbuster. That doesn't have any bearing on the mouse's performance. I'm just saying. And while we're here anyways, it's worth pointing out that I do stream from time to time. You can find me on Twitch at MiscastJoe. You can find me on YouTube at MiscastPlay. And if you go to MiscastPlay, you'll find that I've got some videos there too. I'll link one of those at the end of the video. So DPI is definitely a preferential thing for a lot of people. I can't make those little adjustments with a high DPI. I like to make smaller adjustments like that. See, way better with the low DPI. Oh my God. He waterbended me. What was I supposed to do? But at the very least, that wasn't because of mouse performance, that was just because I'm generally crap at the game. The Gravastar Mercury M1 Pro is going to cost $99.95 US. Now, if you go on the website, you'll probably find the mouse on sale. I've been testing this for a little bit, and it's been on sale for pretty much the bulk of the time. You can get it in the gunmetal gray model, which is what I'm currently testing, or you can get it in the Battle Worn Edition Silver Mist. And that does come at an extra cost, but not because it looks different. It actually comes with a 4K dongle. Now, if you prefer the gunmetal gray, you can buy the 4K dongle separately, and it's not going to come out to more money than the special edition one. So I think now's the time we can assign a score to this thing with our review matrix. Design first, it's one of the coolest gaming mouse designs I've seen, and it's not just faction, it does have a lot of function with it too. Gives you a lot of comfort. Like I said, you're not going to get the sweaty palms because it's breathing. The RGB underneath is beautiful, and it is solid. While that means it's not the lightest gaming mouse I had, I feel like I could break some of those ones if I play bad enough, and trust me, I do. The Mercury M1 Pro, solid as a rock. I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for design. Functionality, it glides really nice. Everything is really responsive, and more importantly, it's all customizable within the app. Add to it the control you get with the non-slip stickers and with the mouse wheel with its texture, and it's as functional as a mouse is going to get, I guess. The only thing I would get it on is it is heavier than the other gaming mice I'm used to. This is the one that I usually use. It's the ROG Harp Ace Aim Labs edition. This weighs nearly half as much as the M1 Pro, and other ones that I've used previously have also been lighter, so getting used to just a slightly heavier mouse has just been my only thing. So I'm going to give it an 8.5 on functionality. Features that had a lot of RGB options to be able to set up, plus everything you can set up inside the app, including your response time, including macros, including all of that. Really good. So we're going to give it a 9 for features, just because I don't really know how many features a mouse can have. Quality, again, it does everything it's supposed to do, and it's done with a really good build and all of that stuff. So we're going to give quality a 9. And in terms of value, a lot of what you're paying for is actually the design and the look of this one. There are more expensive gaming mice out there, but they come with a lot more typically. You can get a lot of popular gaming mice that still perform great for a fraction of the price. I will point out though, the one I've compared it to, this one right here, same price on Amazon. So we're going to give the value a 7 because it's not crazy, but you can do better. So that score is going to total 43.5, which gives us 87%. Overall, a really good score for a very unique mouse. Now, what do you guys think about the Gravastar Mercury M1 Pro? Let me know down in the comments. And in the comments, why don't you guess what this is? Something else that Gravastar sent me that I'm going to be reviewing shortly. So stay tuned for that. But that's going to be it for this one. Why don't you check out one of these videos here? They're from my gaming channel, Miscast Play. Don't forget to go subscribe. And until next time, my friends, let's get to work.